You know, sometimes I wonder to myself, when is it going to be the day when I accidentally say something on Instagram Live that is so bold, so lethal, so ruthless that they actually try to shut me down? Well, folks, guess what? Today is that day. Today is the day where I tell the truth, and I might actually face some backlash for it, but screw it. So today's conversation is really interesting, and it is this, right? I'm going to be talking about one of the major critical factors that are holding most people back, and this is susceptibility to negative influences. So, what I mean by that, right? This is how do I put this? This is basically the one thing that most people don't even realize is absolutely ruining everything in their life. And it is negative influences. It is your local news. But anyways, no, it's serious. Like it's anything that has to do with anything that is, being a negative influence on your life. You I got to be straight up with you guys. You got to become savage and you just got to cut them off. Right? I don't care if it's people in your life. I don't care if it's family members. Right? And it's not even being savage. You just got to be more definite about cutting certain things out of your life. Right? Certain things that you may not even be consciously aware of that are ruining everything for you. Right? You just got to cut it out. Okay? So today I'm going to be talking about, the susceptibility to negative influences. Right? This isn't one of the fears. Yesterday I was talking about the 6 basic fears, but this is a little bit different than that, right? There's let's face it, right? There is negativity out there. There is negativity out there, and I'm not going to say that there's not. I'm just saying I don't pay attention to it. I don't pay attention to any of it, right? There's probably people that are talking about me, but I can't hear them because I'm not paying attention to it. So, we're going to have a conversation about that today. And I'm going to talk about, number one, right? Forming your environment so that you don't let, negative news or etc. into your life, and just the importance of, surrounding yourself with the right people. And then we'll see where the conversation goes. And I was just kidding. I'm not actually going to say anything controversial today. It was a good header to get the speech going. So anyways, where was I? Right, your environment. Your environment is absolutely critical to success. Okay? They say, what is more important, nature or heredity? I think that's the way it goes, right? Nature or heredity? Which one is more important to success? And, obviously your genes play a role in it, right? But if you were born with 2 arms and 2 legs, right, you got enough, right? You got enough with the genes, right? It is absolutely positively your environment, right? What is surrounding you, right? What is surrounding you is going to absolutely dictate everything about where you go in life, right? So what I'm saying is, some people don't even realize how negative of an environment that they actually live in is, right? It may not even seem like it at first, right? You may be living in a safe household with 2 parents that are still married, right? A healthy family. But, if the news is playing all day, then that's a pretty toxic environment. You know why? Because the news, I'm going to get to this pretty in depth probably today, but the news is absolutely so negative, right? This is something they do not want you to know, right? Your local news is absolutely garbage. There's no reason to watch the news. All it does is spew out negativity. And you'll realize, especially if you're in the profession of selling, right? It's going to be the weirdest things are going to pop up into your mind before you make that call. You're going to think, am I going to get, harmed or hurt from calling this person? Right? It's because and you're not even going to be able to relate it back to the source that it came from, right? It may have came from the news talking about how many people were murdered in Philadelphia. right? And you would think, oh, how does that have anything to do with making the sale, becoming a professional salesman? It has everything to do with it, right? You let that shit into your mind, it's gonna seep into your tonality, it's gonna seep into your thoughts before the call and after the call, and it's gonna affect your entire day. But you gotta cut it off. Right? You gotta cut it off. All that shit that's so negative, you gotta cut out of your life. Right, so I could go down, the rabbit hole with the news, but I'll spare you the time, right? I'll just tell you right now, I personally have made, I think it's been about 3 years. Yeah, it's been about 3 years now since I've diligently watched the news, right? Ever since that COVID shit in 2020, right? I just turned that shit off. I have no idea what is happening in the outside world, nor do I ever care to know what's happening in the outside world. You want to know why? Because the outside world is incredibly negative. It is incredibly depressing, right? I decided, you know what? All this shit, I'm done with it. I don't care about any of that. I'm going to create my own world, right? When everyone would tell me, oh, just wait till you're in the real world, right? When I was in college. No, I'm not ever going to be in your real world because your real world sucks. I'm going to make my real world, and it's going to be abundant. It's going to be joyful. It's going to be dope. So we'll leave that conversation there. All right. So additionally, right, I'm talking about your environment, right? You got to surround yourself. Now another part of the environment is who you surround yourself with, right? The people in your environment are going to dictate whether you stay stuck or you actually start growing. Okay. And what I mean by this is this, right? Your friend group, right? If your friend group is not, working towards a definite end, if they're not, talking about making money moves, then what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Just drinking and BS all the time? Or are you talking about, actually, getting somewhere in life? Because, like your friend group is going to absolutely dictate, what you're thinking about. And what you're thinking about is going to dictate what you actually do something about. And that's going to dictate your results in life. Okay? So it's not even just your friend group, right? It may even just come down to you got to start a mastermind. Or you got to tell your friends, you know what? This is how it's going to be. We are starting a mastermind. I've had enough of being stuck in life. Right? We are starting a mastermind and we're going to the top. And you're either with me or you're not, right? And then additionally, you might have to find people that are more like-minded like you, right? If you're in an immediate environment, if there are people that are not, thinking about ways to get wealthy or to live a better life, you may have to start searching for people that are talking about it, that are talking about, making money moves, etc. Right? And the truth is, right, it's probably not going to be like that is in your immediate environment. Right? You're not going to find, maybe like-minded entrepreneurs that are in your immediate environment that you can drive to. Right? It's going to have to be through the internet. So here's something that they've been telling me all this time, and I never really truly understood it until I understood it. Right? It's like the fact that you're going to make more money with strangers than you will with your own friends. Or you're going to make more money with strangers than you will with your own friends, right? You got to network, right? We got, Instagram, we got all these social media platforms for you to network, right? There's people that are making money from their phones, right? We got to start finding out the ways to do it. Right? It comes down to networking. And then, when I'm talking about your environment, right? Getting into the right groups, getting into the right tables, becoming valuable to valuable people. Right, that's going to help you all of a sudden start changing your environment, which is, like I said, going back to the topic today, right? Your environment is everything. Your environment is everything to dictating your success, right? Simply, right? There's this one part of Think and Grow Rich where he talks about, simply just being aligned with somebody that's persistent, that finds a way no matter what, that doesn't take no for an answer. Simply just aligning with that individual. It's going to cause you to become persistent. It's going to cause you to become persistent. Just because if you want to stay with that individual, if you want to stay in touch with him or her, you're going to have to step it up too. You're going to need to start, getting into the right rooms where you're the dumbest person in the room, right? If you're always the smartest person in the room, then what are you actually learning? Wait, what are you actually learning? It comes down to finding people that have the results that you want, networking with them, figuring out how can I become valuable to valuable people, and how can they help me out? Because people aren't just going to mentor you for free, but you got to become valuable to them. What can you offer them? Can you and here's the thing. Most people think, oh, well, it's just all about money, or it's just all about, something else. No. What you can offer them is actually doing what they tell you to do. What you can offer them is actually listening to their advice and following through on it with the state of mind known as faith that it worked for them, it's going to work for you. Right? That's all a mentor really is looking for, right? Someone to actually do the thing that they're talking about. Okay? So that's the first part of environment. Now, what else? Right? We're talking about today the susceptibility to negative influences. Okay, so I talked about surrounding yourself with the right people. Now I'm going to take it down this path where you got to start cutting off people from your life. And I should have worded it better earlier, right? This isn't savagery. No, this is just being definite with your purpose, right? What I'm saying is when you become definite about what you want, and if you have, negative family members in your life that are holding you back, they got to go, right? Yes, don't get me wrong. I'll be nice to them during Christmas time, but you're just an acquaintance to me. You're not my real family. Wow, that was really harsh what I just said. And I apologize in advance to whoever's watching this, but I'm serious about this, right? Anyone that's negative in my life, I cut them out of my consciousness. And it's so essential to do it, right? You got to tighten up your circle, right? You got to have a tight circle of people that are in line with your definite major purpose and only take the advice from them, right? And I don't mean it like this. I don't mean like, they're dead to me. No, it's not like that. It's just that whatever they say to me, I'll nod and agree and smile. And then, I'll go back to my mastermind. Okay, what are you guys actually thinking about this? Right? Their advice is not going to be in line with my purpose, so I'm not going to take it. Right? And you know how it is when family members have a bunch of free advice to give you that's not benefiting you. Okay? So, your environment is absolutely essential, right? Surrounding yourself with the right people is going to change everything for you. Simply being in the right group chats, the right rooms with people that are hustlers, with people that are, like-minded, that are going places, that have a definite end, right? Just being around that group is going to take you so much further than doing it on yourself, right? And my personal story, right? I got pretty lucky that, I found some like-minded communities. And, even though when I was in college, right, I would just, jump on the Zoom call, join it, and listen to the call, listen to my mentor speak. But, I was still kind of stagnant. But then eventually it just came to the point where, I got tired of being surrounded with this individual who kept, going up and up and up, right? His income kept rising, and I was just staying stuck. So naturally it's like, okay, I'm surrounded with this person. Let me start just doing what he says. And, it's going to work out in the end. All right. So I guess we'll keep it short and sweet. That's the conversation today, right? Protecting yourself from negative influences, right? Your environment is absolutely critical. It really dictates everything, right? What your environment, what you consume dictates how you think, which dictates what you do, which is going to dictate the life you actually live. All right. So start becoming aware. What is in my environment that I need to cut off, right? Who are the people that unfortunately need less of my time, and who needs more of my time? All right. Let's get after it. Happy Labor Day weekend. I will see you all. I'll be back Monday. And without further ado, I guess I'm going to keep talking as I am on the way to turn this live off. But yeah, have a great weekend, everyone. And let's go. Let's do it.